Hello and welcome to another episode of Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host, Rob Bentley, and thanks for tuning in. On today's show, we'll recap what's been a busy weekend in postseason action for Ferris State football, volleyball, and soccer. We'll start first, though, with Bulldog football, joined by Coach Tony Annese. Coach, welcome to the show, and congratulations on the first-round playoff win.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here and have the opportunity to talk about having another game.
Obviously, a big challenge you knew going in this past weekend against the Harding Bisons, who had eliminated you last year, and it turned out to be that way going down the stretch in the ballgame.
Yeah, you know, from the moment we drew them, I knew we had our hands full. People don't really analyze. You know, when you face an offense of that style, you focus on, well, can you slow down their offense? But people don't focus on their defense, and it was top 5 in the nation in virtually every category on pass defense, rush defense, every area, third down defense. So we knew they were going to be tough. I knew we had to get a fast start, and we did, and then we held on.
As we go to some of the highlights, you mentioned that fast start and had a good opening half, and especially able to get on the scoreboard there early on.
Yeah, you know, their style of offense, we really talked about getting a couple scores ahead, and then it'd be a little bit more difficult for them. But then we gave them some short fields as the game progressed, and wasn't as difficult as we had hoped it would be.
Malik Taylor seeing really his first action of the year. How nice was it to have him back?
It was great. You know, I didn't know if he was going to be ready like that, and he looked good. We really able to get him the ball a few times, and he did good things with it.
Javon Shaw into the end zone to give you the early lead. Defense played well here in the first half, and Omari McCauley with the interception.
Yeah, Omari's been a blessing. You know, he's filled in. Deshaun Thrower had some back spasm, and Omari rolled in there, and he's done very, very well.
After that turnover, obviously the offense gets the ball back and able to build on your lead here coming up shortly. But here up front, Avante Bell, who had a big game with 14 tackles.
Yeah, you know, Avante, I thought, was really aggressive. He did a good job of trying to get the rhythm of their cadence down and put some good pressure on the quarterback.
Here, J. Rue Campbell with a nice throw to make it a 2-score ball game early on in the second quarter.
Yeah, we debated. They called 2 timeouts on that. We're debating on what to run. We changed 3 times, and the 3 times that we had opportunities to discuss it, and we got a great play call in.
Here, a big play from Danny Collins, the senior on special teams, able to block the punt and recover it, which sets up a short field.
Always Danny, man. It's unbelievable. So, you know, I always tell our young guys, special teams are 1/3 of the game, but with Danny, it's the most important part of the game for him. And so he's rewarded all the time because he makes it so important. And when you make things important, good things can happen for you, and that's what happens for Danny.
Took a 21-0 lead into halftime, but you certainly knew Harding was a good team, was going to battle back in the second half.
Yeah, you know, they you know, did a good job at halftime making some adjustments on how to block us, and you know, you lose your eye discipline a little bit when you start panicking, and we kind of fell apart with some of our assignments, but our defense hung in there. You know, that's a big stop right at the end of the third quarter there to keep them off the scoreboard, and then here comes the fourth quarter.
Obviously, going into the fourth quarter, we'll see them take their first score of the afternoon here and able to get to the edge here against the defense that had played pretty well.
Yeah, you know, our defense played well the whole day, but you know, it's hard to contain them consistently. Here, a big turnover, which Jay Rue's his first time he's had a turnover this year where, you know, he's basically gotten sacked and coughed it up, which is going to happen eventually. There he is, he making the tackle there, but it's going to happen eventually. It was just unfortunate during that circumstance.
Here they're able to cut it 21-12, and then a big stop here on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, huge stop. You know, we attacked them well. You know, Centel Williams is there, Najim, Avante. So people showed up quick and made a big play there.
Harding will get here on the board again to make it a 1-score game at 21-19. Any thoughts of last year's game here at this point?
Nope, not a bit from me. I just wanted to stay focused and do the things we needed to do to make plays, and here we just got there just in time to break up that pass and got a first down and took the knee and get the advance.
Obviously, you move on here after the win, 21-19 over a very good Harding team. And first of all, how important is it to get that opening round win here in the playoffs to move on?
You know, you look at you know, you assess kind of the entire bracket when you win a game. You know, you kind of count, okay, now there's only 16, which is great to see. You know, 12 got eliminated, and then there were 4 byes. But so 16 teams. But then you look and say, wow, that was a 7th seed who won, and there's a 6th seed that won. Northwest won. There's a 6th seed. So you see that there's 7 and 6 seeds in Division II college football all the time that are winning, and so I think our formula, the NCAA Division II formula, is great. I think anybody can beat anybody during this time of year, and so if you're in, you got a chance, and that's just how I feel. And so any 7 seed can beat any 1 seed, and that's just the way it is. So the reality is you got to play great every week because everybody's good this time of year.
Obviously, another great opponent coming up this week, Northwest Missouri State, back at home on Saturday at Top Taggart Field, and a team that was able to knock Grand Valley State out in the first round. Yeah,
they took our rival. I said this in the press conference after the game. If you compare scores, what they did to Grand Valley is pretty amazing. So, we just barely beat Grand Valley. I think it was in October. So I would say they're a slight favorite just based on comparing scores. They're the team that knocked us out in the semifinals at Northwest Missouri State 2 seasons ago in 2016. And so, it'll be an interesting game. They're another great defense. Their quarterback's redshirt freshman plays, executes their offense really well. Their running backs are really good, and they ran for near 350 yards against Grand Valley, which it's not easy to run against Grand Valley. So that's a concern for us, obviously.
What does it mean to be the last GLIAC team here left in the playoff field once again for the 3rd straight year?
I'm glad you asked. I just tweeted about it. I tweeted to our potential prospects here to be patient. Now we have everybody in the GLIAC out there recruiting here, selling kids to commit early, and I always tell kids that, the timeline is one of their friends, it's one of their allies, and they should hold off and kind of have an opportunity to assess everything. And I always tell young people they control the recruiting process, but it's that time of year where people are out there. We've played longer than anybody the last 3 years, and so there's going to be everybody out there trying to get kids to commit before the Bulldogs have an opportunity to get out there. But so hopefully you guys be patient on that, because we're going to be out there recruiting, but not until we're done with the playoff run.
Obviously, a 1 o'clock kickoff on Saturday on the home field. What does it take to get a win, move on here to the regional championship game?
It takes the same thing it always takes for us. We have been such a gritty group of men. I'm so proud of the way our guys carry themselves. They play really hard. They're very committed to our process. They know what it takes to be gritty. And I always tell them. I told them this 3 times last week. I don't want to worry about winning and losing. I want us to put our best foot forward, perform at our best with the highest level of energy and effort that we can, and then, winning takes care of itself. So, I hope we just continue to be who we are, play hard and be gritty and be determined to be at our best. And if we're at our best, we've got a chance to win this game.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win. Best of luck this weekend. Enjoy the Thanksgiving holiday. 5th straight year the Bulldogs will be playing on Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, 5th straight year on Thanksgiving weekend. So we feel privileged about that. So thank you very much.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.